today we are doing part 2 of the tutorial 6, which is the trigonometric function. Simply لما أقول trigonometric function بالعربي نسميها الدوال المثلثية. I'm talking about the sine. I'm talking about the cosine. I'm talking about the tan. Okay? I'm talking about the cosec. And so on. So this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to define them. We're going to know the basic rules of the trigonometric functions. And then we will talk about how to differentiate and how to integrate the sine and the cosine function. Okay, and how to differentiate and integrate the tangent function, the tan function. Okay, and the other trigonometric functions. So before we start talking about this trigonometric function, we must know what does the measurement of the angle mean. Measurement can be done using two different ways. ممكن احنا we measure using the radian. Okay. هنا الangles. So whenever I'm talking about an angle نستخدم المنقلة عشان نقيس الدرجة هذه. For example, this is 30 degree we say. So this is the degree measurement. We have the radian measurement, and the radian measurement in this case using the pi. You have the pi in the calculator. The pi in the calculator is 3.14 and so on. But the pi I'm talking about whenever I'm talking about trigonometric function is the 180 degree اللي هي 180 درجة. You know this? Did you ever hear about this? الباي اللي هي 180 درجة whenever I'm talking about the angles هنا. الحين 100 degree اللي هي 180 درجة I'm talking about a full thing. Yeah. إذا هذه 0 degree going to a straight line here, this is the 180 degree. So this is the pi I'm talking about. So how to convert each one of the measurement that I have to the pi. طبعا 0 degree simply is the 0 pi. Okay. 180 degree اتفقنا انها exactly الباي. فنص الباي اللي هو الباي على 2 is gonna be what? الحين إذا 180 is باي yeah نصها is 90 degree. طيب ربع الباي يعني اللي هي الباي على 4 is equal to what? 45 degree. Okay. 30 degree مثلا for example is باي على 6. If I divide 180 على 6 it's 30 و 60 degree is مثلا باي على 3. وعندي 270 also is one of the famous. It's over 2. طبعا this is easy, something I can know by just do mental thinking. طبعا we have a formula actually to do this, so we don't have to think about it mentally all the time. The formula is this one. A degree is equal to the radian multiplied, or sorry, the radian actually here is equal to the degree multiplied with pi over 180. Okay, so this is the degree here, and this is the radian measurement. We multiply the degree with the pi and we divide by 180. This is how we convert a degree to radian. Let's do it for example in 90. If I want to change it to radian, we multiply with pi على 80. مش هذه الرول. This will be what? pi على 2. مثلا 360. If I want to convert to 360 degree and I want to change it to radian, I multiply it with pi over 180. This will be 2 pi, and so on. So this is the formula we use to change from degree to the radian. Okay. طبعا you have to check your calculator. You have to check how your calculator can help you with this radian measurement thing. You have to consider in الباي هنا it's 180, it's not the 3.14. your calculator need to understand إن اللي هي 3.14. لو الآلة الحاسبة حسبت 3.14 the answer will be wrong. Yeah. So the angle, whenever we are measuring the angle هنا, the angle can be positive and the angle can be negative. Whenever we talk about the angle دائما احنا we are thinking about the circle. نسميها الunit circle. ماشي? This is not good. Whenever we talk about the angle, I'm talking about a unit circle. This is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. And this is my unit circle. What does it mean إنها unit circle? معناها إن هنا 1, هنا 1, هنا -1, and here I have -1. It's cutting at the ones معناها. It's unit circle. نص قطرها واحد. The radius here is equal to 1. So the center is the 0. So whenever I'm talking about positive movement, this is my first point of movement. If I'm moving counterclockwise, عكس عقارب الساعة, the movement is positive. And if I'm measuring in the clockwise direction, the movement is negative. Okay, فمثلا for example, I have this angle هنا. If I'm measuring من هنا إلى هنا, I'm moving in the positive direction. If this is my angle here, معناها I'm moving down, so I'm saying it is a negative. So you can have a look at this example here. شايفين my movement الحركة تبدأ من هنا. So I'm moving here, 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 and I stopped here. This is my angle. So the angle positive or negative in this case? عكس عقارب الساعة. Counterclockwise. So it's positive. It's actually positive 3 pi over 2 اللي هي 270 درجة. You have to know this, huh? هنا الانجل is 0. When I come here, الانجل is 90 degree اللي هي الباي على 2. هنا the angle is 180 degree which is pi. هنا it's 180 ومعاها 90. So it is 270 degree actually. Yeah, good. Which is 3 pi over 2. When we go back and the 0 طيب, it is 360. Which is 0 نفسها, which is 2 pi. صح؟ فإف مثلا I'm هنا, I'm moving from the 0 لحد هنا, هذه 45 degree, which is pi over 4, and it's positive pi على 4. Okay, نص 90 is 45 اللي هي الباي على 4 اللي هي ربع الباي. And if I'm moving هنا, يعني I have to move 0 down. I'm moving in the direction of the clockwise movement. So the angle here is minus pi over 4. Are you getting that? Excellent. Yeah, it's minus pi over 4. In this example, it's a negative angle as well. As you can see, this is the initial side. أنا دائما أتحرك من بداية الإكس. تحركي دائما من هنا. And I'm going down, as you can see. I'm moving down. So down there, it's minus pi over 2. زائد زاوية قائمة 90 degree اللي هي pi over 2. Then this is minus pi over 2 actually. So here they are giving you this example. They want you to convert the radian measurement. They want you to convert to radian measurement. على طول radian measurement يعني بدخل عليها الباي. كيف أدخل عليها الباي؟ يعني آخذ الديجري وأضربها في باي and I divide by 180. So ال 450 I'm gonna multiply it with pi over 180 and this will be 5 pi over 2. Easy. minus 210 معناها minus 210 I'm gonna multiply it with pi over 180. Now do the calculation. This is 7 over 6 and minus طبعا 7 over 6. Good? Clear till now? So this is a simple example. They are asking you to give a radian measurement. إيش يعني radian measurement؟ again معناها a measurement with a pi inside it. Now يعني حلها بالآلة. Now you need to check this with your own calculator. Now some calculator actually do this simplification. في آلات حاسبة لما تحط 210 على 180 it will tell you it is 7 على 6. Depend on your calculator. Okay. اختصر. If you divide هذه by 3 0 طبعا cancel the 0. If you divide this by 3 it is 7. If you divide this by 3 it is 6. This is 7 على 6. Or the calculator can do this. You have to be careful with choosing the calculator that suits your needs. إذا محتاجين آلة حاسبة تبسط لكم بسط ومقام تأكد إن الآلة الحاسبة عندك can do this. Now here they are asking us to give the radian measurement. Radian measurement يعني الميجرمنت بالباي. Can you see it? الموفمنت أول شيء. It's movement in the here. شايفينها؟ So it's positive or negative? I'm moving like this. هذه الانجل نسميها T. It's negative. That's correct. This is the first thing. بعدين I move 180 اللي هي باي. بعدين باي ثانية it is 2 باي. بعدين باي ثالثة. So it's minus 3 ايش؟ Excellent. قال لي radian. ما قال لي يبغاها 540. They wanted radian. So I'm talking about باي. This is 3 بايز. الباي الواحدة خط مستقيم. باي 2 باي 3 باي it is. So I'm talking about minus 3 pi. Now we are ready to introduce sine and the cosine functions. A sine and the cosine function can be represented in two ways. نعرفها بطريقتين. إما بطريقة right angle triangle or using the unit circle. The right angle triangle معناها مثلث قائم الزاوية. Whenever you have a right angle triangle like the one that you can see here in the picture, عندنا what we call the hypotenuse. Does anybody know what does hypotenuse mean? بالعربي إيش يعني الhypotenuse؟ الوتر. Excellent. الوتر بمعنى اللي هو مقابل الopposite لل 90 degree. اللي قدام ال 90 degree أسميه الوتر أو الhypotenuse. And I'm gonna refer to it with the letter R. هنا أنا راح أسميه R. This is my angle. My angle is the T that you can see هنا. What is opposite to the T I'm calling Y. What is next to the T I'm gonna say X. وأسميه الadjacent. Adjacent يعني المجاور. Opposite يعني المقابل. تذكرون الأشياء هذه صح؟ عندنا المقابل والمجاور والوتر. ف what is opposite to T is my Y. What is next to T is my adjacent. Now الحين to easily imagine what's happening أنا this is my X axis. This is my Y axis. What goes with the X سميته X. What goes with the Y I'm calling it Y. You got that? ف whenever I have a right angle triangle, what is opposite to the 90 degree? I'm calling the hypotenuse, R. What's opposite to the angle that I have? I'm calling it the opposite, Y. And what is adjacent to my angle? I'm calling it X, which is the adjacent side. The sine of الزاوية هذه T, the angle T, is equal to the opposite على الهايبوتينيوس يعني الواي على الار والكوزين تي is defined to be الادجacent المجاور على الار. Do you remember this? نلاحظ ان الكوزين مربوطة بمين؟ بالاكس right؟ الكوزين رايحة مع الاكس and we note إن الساين مربوطة بمين؟ بالواي. مربوطة بالواي أكسس. يا فكأن إن الكوزين اللي هي الإكس كوردينيت والساين هي الواي كوردينيت. دائما نتذكر إن الساين connected مع الواي والكوزين جاية من الإكس. It's y على r, x على r. This is the sine and the cosine. Now, if I want to define this بالunit circle, هذه الunit circle. I have the x-axis, I have the y-axis. The unit circle, as I told you, it's a circle that center at the 0, and here it cuts at 1. هنا it's cutting at -1. Here it's cutting at 1y. Here it's cutting at -1y. طبعا -1y and 0x. 1y and 0x هذه النقطة, and this is 1x 0y, and this is minus 1x and 0y, correct? مش هذه الunit circle? What we are doing here, xy circle has a coordinate xy, x راح أسميها cosine t, y is the sine t. x مع الcosine y مع السine. So if I take any point هنا مثلا, for example they took this point, أخذت البوينت هذه, البوينت هذه will make an angle, بتسوي زاوية, I'm calling this angle t, فالcosine t والsine t is actually the x and the y coordinate of this point. Now let me give you an example. البوينت هذه, what's the coordinate of this point? We say the coordinates are 1 and 0. وإيش الزاوية هذه طيب؟ هنا the angle, إيش الانجل هنا؟ بالضبط cosine 1 وساين 1, بس إيش الزاوية هذه الحين؟ أنا لما أكون هنا باي, أنا أصلا تحركت هنا عند البوينت هذه, أنا ما تحركت أساسا, فأنا لسه عند الزيرو ديجري, صح؟ فالبوينت هذه is cosine 0 degree and it is sine the 0 degree. فالكوزاين 0 degree كم؟ 1. ساين 0 degree كم؟ 0. طيب نجي للبوينت هذه, ايش الزاوية اللي نسويتها البوينت هذه؟ ايش الزاوية اللي سوتها البوينت هذه؟ 90 degree. فهنا عندي كوزاين 90 degree وهنا عندي ساين 90 degree. أقارنها بالبوينت اللي موجودة عندي, معناها أن الكوزاين 90 degree is 0 وساين 90 degree كم؟ 1. We don't have to worry about this. احنا عندنا calculator already. الcalculator will give me the sine and the cosine. طبعا في الهاي سكول we had to memorize this. كان لازم نحفظ الأشياء هذه, فكانت الunit circle very helpful to know those basic sine and cosine thing. طيب check this point هنا, the one in the green هنا. إيش الانجل اللي مسويتها؟ What's the angle that this point meant? Excellent. It's 180 degree. فهنا I have the cosine of 180 degree and I have the sine of 180 degree. طبعا الباي اللي هي الباي, يعني I'm talking about cosine الباي, I'm talking about the sine الباي. So what's cosine الباي? Minus 1. What's the sine الباي? It is 0. البوينت هذه ايش الانجل اللي سوتها البوينت هذه؟ 270. Cosine 270 degree. I'm talking about the sine 270 degree. Compare it with the points. It's 0 and the sine of 270 is minus 1. طيب الحين لو بلف لفة كاملة and back to this point. This point will be ايش؟ 2 pi اللي هي 360 degree. فأجين هذه راح ترجع تعطيني كوزاين 2 باي وتعطيني الساين of 2 باي اللي هي اللفة الكاملة, وبيطلع نفسه كوزاين الزيرو وساين الزيرو وهو نفس 1 and 0. You got it? And we can go around the same thing. الكوزاين والساين periodic نسميهم. ايش يعني periodic؟ يعني they repeat themselves, صح؟ الحين انه you start عند الزيرو, بعدين you will come back عند 2 باي راح يكون نفسها. You come back على 4 باي, it's the same, صح؟ فعندي 0 degree, بعدين 2 باي, بعدين 4 باي, بعد 6 باي and 8 باي. كل ما ألف لفة كاملة it's gonna be the same. It's periodic. Keep on repeating itself. حتى if I come at this point and I keep on adding 2 by 2 by 2 by, ألف لفة كاملة, this again will give me the same sine and the cosine. Okay? You can see it here. The sine and cosine are periodic. They keep on repeating themselves up and down, up and down. The maximum value اللي ياخذها الساين والكوزاين is 1. أعلى قيمة ممكن توصلها 1. I'm talking about unit circle. So the maximum value is 1, the minimum value is -1, and it keep on repeating itself. And the pi it is 0, and the 2 pi is sine 0, and the 3 pi it is 0, and the 4 pi it is 0. And up thing لكن هاي 0 and repeating itself. Okay, we say that they are periodic, they keep on repeating themselves. Clear till now? Now, those are some basic rules of the sine and the cosine. طبعا يعني you don't have to worry much about them. Some of them we're gonna use. We have the sine square plus the cosine square of t. You have to be careful about one thing. الحين what does it mean when I say I have cosine square of t? معناها إن the value of cosine t ربعتها صح؟ This is not the same as saying cosine t square. Cosine t square معناها السكوير على t. So you have to be careful. Cosine square t معناها I'm squaring the cosine. Sine square t معناها I'm squaring the sine. So sine square t and cosine square t is always equal to 1. بغض النظر what's my t. This is a good information لأن whenever, for example, I have the cosine, I can find the sine. So the sine square t is actually nothing but 1 minus the cosine square t. If I have the cosine, I can put it here, I can subtract it from 1, square it and subtract it from 1, and this will give me the sine. And also I have in the cosine square of t is equal to 1 minus the sine square of t, and this is the most important one of those relations. Also اتفقنا ان الكوزاين تلف لفة كاملة وترجع تصير the same صح؟ ولا؟ يعني لما ألفها لفة كاملة 2 باي it's gonna go back to the same value اللي بدأت فيها. This is if I go positive يعني قاعد ألف عكس عقارب الساعة or I'm going negative. So cosine t plus or minus 2 pi ترجع للكوزين t الأوريجينال. And the same thing for the sine. لو لفيت 2 pi positive or negative, this will take me to the same sign I started with. Also we have إن cosine of minus t نفسها cosine the t. And the sign of minus t is minus sine t. How is this? If you check, we still have one more chapter. If we have the unit circle, if this is my t, هذه minus t. صح ولا لا? If this is t, minus t is the other direction. فالكوزين اللي هي الx is always positive في t وفي الماينس t. فكوزين minus t is same as cosine the t. But the sign, which is y, is positive هنا, negative down. So the sign of minus t is minus sine the t. Always, also we have in the cosine by 2 minus t equal to sine the t, and sine by 2 minus t is cosine the t, and sine s plus t is sine s cosine the t, cosine the s sine the t. But the most important ones is this, this, and this. Okay? Any question here? Yeah. So here is one example where we use a right angle triangle. We agreed and we can use the right angle triangle or we can use the unit circle to know about the sine and cosine thing. Now in this example, they are giving me right angle triangle. معطيني مثلث قائم الزاوية, right? And where is the right angle? Here is the right angle. I have to highlight it. What is opposite is my hypotenuse اللي هو R, صح? Yeah? This is my t, and what is opposite? الopposite اللي هو ايش؟ x or y؟ It's the y. Yeah. كيف أعرف؟ أرسم. This is x. This is y. موازي ل y is y. So this is my x then. This side adjacent is my x. And I don't know it. أعطاني ال r, أعطاني ال y, and they didn't give me the x here. So what's the question actually? The question say the following. Give the value of the sine t. Give me the value of the cosine t. So in sine t is equal to what? It's equal to the y على r. And the cosine t is equal to what? x على ال r. Yeah. طيب ال y موجودة وال r موجودة. So I can simply find the sine t. It is 1 على 4. الحين if I want to find the cosine t, I don't have the x. But I know in the sine square t, in the 1 minus the square t, sine square t, is equal to cosine square t. ولا؟ احنا قلنا ان الكوزين square of t is 1 minus the sine square of t. So I can simply substitute with the sine, and the sine is a quarter. So 1 quarter is square here. So this is 1 minus 1/16, which equal to 5/16. This is cosine square. So cosine is the root actually of 15 here. It's the root of 15/16. The 15 remain inside the root. I cannot take it out. The root of 16 is 4. So this is my cosine t. You got that? شايفين how in this formula can help me? And once I have the sine, I can know the cosine. Okay, any question here? Any question? No? Good. Now this is one more example. Again, they are giving me right angle triangle. So على طول I have to highlight a right angle. This is the right angle. فالمفروض إن هذه ال R, هذه ال Y, and this one is the X. They give me إن T اللي هي an angle is equal to 0.4. ال A اللي هي ال X is equal to 10. They want me to find the C اللي هي ال R. They want me to find the hypotenuse. So what do you think? بما إن أعطاني ال X and they give me the angle, so let me talk about the cosine. Now, Pythagoras will not help me لأن ما عندي two sides. عندي one side بس معطيني جانب واحد اللي هو ال X ومعطيني زاوية. So I know إن cosine t is actually equal to x على ال r. فcosine t is cosine of the 0.4 that we can find from the calculator, and the x is 10 and the r is what I want to find. Do cross multiplication, and this will mean in r is equal to 10 over the cosine of 0.4. You can see what I did. هنا the bottom is 1. So let me do cross multiplication. So I will get in ال r في cosine ال 0.4 is equal to 10. معناها the r is equal to 10 divided by cosine 0.4. Yeah, work with your calculator. الحين this one is the 0.4. معطيكم ال t is equal to 0.4. Try to get the same answer here. The answer will be 10.9. Try to work out with your calculator, know how to work with the mode of the calculator and get 10.4. Okay, good information, yeah, Ahmed. You have to adjust your calculator to be in a radian mode. Depends on the calculator you are using. This is what I'm saying. Use your own calculator. Learn how to find the correct answers. And practice with those examples that we have. Okay. So here we have one more example. They are giving me the t, the angle, to be something between minus by 2 and by 2. This is minus by 2 and this is by 2. So my angle is in this area. It's here, between this and this. And the t satisfy that in the sine of the t equal to minus the sine of 3 by على 8. And now we remember, and now we said in the sine of minus t is equal to minus the sine t. So I can put the minus inside, so I will get in the sine t is equal to the sine of minus 3 by over 8. Now I can think about it like in the sine will cancel the sine, and this will give me in the t is equal to minus 3 by over 8, and this is the answer. Now we couldn't cancel من هنا because of this minus sign that we have. We had to put it inside, cancel the signs as if we cancel the sign, and we get in the t is equal to minus 3 by over 8. Okay. And this is the graph of the sine and the cosine function. As I told you, it's periodic. It keeps on going up and down. Maximum value is 1 والminimum value is minus 1. أعلى قيمة يوصلها 1. آخر قيمة يوصلها is minus 1. And this makes sense. I have the unit circle. The unit circle هنا 1, minus 1, and here 1, and here minus 1. So if I'm moving with my x around here, أعلى قيمة أوصلها is 1 وأقل قيمة أوصلها is minus 1. Now to the most important part. Why we define those sine cosine functions? To know what's their derivative. The derivative of the sine is cosine. The derivative of cosine is minus sine. Yeah, simply we have in the derivative of the sine is cosine, the derivative of the cosine is minus sine. Now if it was a sine of a function, بمعنى it is a sine of something, it's not just a sine, we apply the chain rule. It's the derivative of the function multiplied with the derivative of what inside. Same thing with the cosine. If I have cosine of gt, it is minus the sine gt, derivative of the function, multiply with the derivative of what inside the function. Let me give you, if I say find me the derivative of sine of x squared plus 4x, it's not just sine. ما هي sine t, ما هي sine x. It's a sine of x squared plus 4x according to the rule. مشتقة الفانكشن في مشتقة اللي داخل الفانكشن، صح ولا لا؟ مش this is what we are doing? So what's the derivative of the sine? It is cosine of x4 plus 4x. Then I should multiply with the derivative of what inside, اللي هو derivative of x squared plus 2x plus 4, and this will be the derivative. One more example. You have, I want you to find me d by dt of cosine of x to the power 3. What's the derivative of this? It's cosine of x3. So the derivative of the cosine is minus sine. of x3. And we should multiply with the derivative of the inside اللي هي 3 just a minute. It's 3x squared. You got that? طيب إذا derivative للساين is cosine, what will be the integration of the cosine t dt? إذا derivative is sine cosine, integration of cosine is what? It's sine. Excellent. The integration is sine t plus the integration constant. Yeah? طيب إذا derivative الcosine minus sine, then the integration of the sine t dt is equal to what? Be careful. Integration is sine. وننتبه في إشارة. It will be what? Minus cosine t, excellent, plus c. Yeah? طيب what if إن الساين كان فيها function like مثلا I have the integration of 3t dt. In this case, the integration is equal to integration is sine is minus cosine. Minus cosine 3t, لكن we divide with the derivative of the function inside. We divide by 3. Yeah. Plus the integration constant. Let me give you one more example. I'm just giving examples around here, huh? Now, if I say I want the integration of cosine of مثلا 4x dx, what will be the integration of the cosine? Integration cosine is it is sine. It is actually sine of 4x and we divide by 4. ليش قسمت على 4؟ لأن الفانكشن اللي داخل cosine is not just x, it's 4x. فأقسم على الديريفاتيف. You remember احنا لما كان عندنا integration of ex dx قلنا the integration is exactly ex. ولما يكون عندي integration of e k x dx it's equal to e kx لكن I divide by k plus c. Same thing we do it with the sine. So if you have the integration of sine, let me write it here. If we have the integration of kt dt, the integration is of the sine here is equal to minus cosine of kt over the k plus the integration constant, and the integration of cosine whenever I have it like k fit t dt is equal to sine of kt over the k plus c. What's the k? اللي هي derivative الفانكشن اللي داخل. Integration now يا أحمد. I'm talking about integration. Derivative of the cosine is minus sine. Derivative of the sine is cosine. Integration of the cosine is the sine. Integration of the sine is minus cosine. Don't get confused. I want to give you an example. I have the integration of cosine of مثلا 5x plus 3 dx. What will be the integration? اتفقنا ان integration الكوزين is sine, huh? So simply it is sine of 5x plus 3, but I have to divide with the derivative of this. What's the derivative of 5x plus 3? It's 5 plus the integration constant. Okay, is it clear now? It is this simple. This simple what you need. مو طالبين من عندكم more complicated integration stuff. This is the formula to integrate the sine. It's not in the slide. I add this. Now they are assuming إن أنتم بالمعنى راح تطلع عندكم. Okay. You have to write this. إن sine integrated to be minus cosine, and the cosine integrated to be the sine. So here we have differentiate. طبعا في الفاينل when they will give you differentiation ما راح يعطيكم differentiation x square ولا whatever basic thing. It's gonna be something like this. Differentiate the following function. The first one is exponential. يعني I have to find d by dx of exponential to the power of cosine x. اتفقنا. Whenever I have e to a power, what's the derivative of the e? Itself. So it is e to the power cosine x, لكن I need to multiply with the derivative of the power, and the power is cosine x. Now what's the derivative of the cosine? What's the derivative of the cosine x here? It's minus sign. Yeah. So it will be e to the power cosine x multiply with minus sine x. I have to put it in a bracket عشان ما أتخربط. And this will be the derivative, and this is the solution of A. بس مشتقة الإكسبوننشال نفسها, and I multiply with the derivative of the power. Now the second function is the third root of sine by t. اتفقنا whenever I have a root, I have to change it to a power. What is the third root of 3 means? What does it mean? إيش يعني? It's to the power 1/3. That's correct. And now in part B, to find d by dt in this case. أنا قاعدة أشتق بالنسبة ل t. Excellent. And I'm differentiating what? The sine of by 50 to the power third. Notice إن الفاريبل is the t. فالباي is a constant هنا. الباي ثابت زيها زي أي شيء ثاني. زيها زي number 2, number 3. It's a number هنا. So my variable is the t هنا. So I have a bracket to a power third. So the derivative is 1/3 القوس to the power third minus 1 of sine by t, and we multiply with the derivative of what inside, which is sine by t dash. صح كده؟ مشتقة القوس في مشتقة اللي داخل القوس. مشتقة القوس is third sine by t to the power third minus 1 في مشتقة اللي داخل اللي هو sine by t. الحين third minus 1 it is like third minus 3 3, it's equal to minus 2 3. So this equal to third, and here we have sine by t to the power minus 2/3. الحين what's the derivative of the sine? اتفقنا ان the derivative of the sine is cosine. So it is cosine of by t. لكن it is again sine of by t. So I have to multiply with the derivative of the by t. What's the derivative of the by t? مش over by. ننتبه يا عصام. Over by if it's integration, huh? This is differentiation. We multiply with by. Yeah. So what's the derivative of by t? The derivative of by t is by. You are correct with this. So by على 3 I can write the by هنا, or let me just write it as it is. I don't want to confuse you. This will be third. This will be sine by t to the power minus 2, 3. This will be cosine of the by t, and the derivative of this one will be y. And this is the derivative. We can simplify it. I can simplify it like writing this is pi over 3, and here I will have cosine by t, and down there I will have the t, don't forget the t here. Sine of by t square and third root. If I want to simplify it, can be written like this, or I can just leave it like this. This is the correct answer. Clear? Yeah. Now we have this example. Suppose that a person's blood pressure, make clean. Suppose that you have, I don't need the space. So suppose that you have a person's blood pressure P. It's giving this formula. شايفين الفورمولا? The formula have the cosine. It's 100 plus 20 cosine 6t. It's pressure, ضغط الدم, measured on time. Find me the maximum value of B and the minimum value of B. طيب أنا, do you remember whenever we say maximum minimum, I'm talking about what? إيش يعني لما أقول maximum minimum of a function, of a formula? I'm talking about B dash critical point اللي هي B dash and B dash equal to 0, صح? The maximum minimum points are point when the derivative is equal to 0. So I'm talking about P dash. I'm talking about P dash equal to 0 to get the maximum and the minimum point. So أكيد I have to find the derivative. So my P is given by 100 plus 20 cosine of 6t. What will be my P dash now? Derivative of 100 is 0. Derivative of the cosine is what? Sine, صح? Minus sine, the derivative of the cosine of 6t, and I have to multiply it with the derivative of the 6t, which is 6. So we end up, if we collect the things, it's P dash equal to minus 120 sine 6t. صح كده? This is my P dash. Now I have to let this equal to 0. If I let this equal to 0, I will end up with sine of 6t is equal to 0. And I have to recall, متى sine equal to 0? Remember, this is my unit circle. متى sine اللي هي y تكون 0؟ هنا عند 0 degree وهنا عند الباي degree، صح؟ بعدين again عند 2 باي، بعدين again عند 3 باي، again عند 4 باي، and again عند 5 باي. ولا متى الساين اللي هي الواي تكون 0؟ لما أكون هنا عند 0 الإكس 1 والواي 0. بعدين لما أجي هنا عند الباي back عند 2 back 2y. Yeah, it's actually 0 حقيقة. It's 0 عند كل الفاليوز هذه. فالساين 60 0. This mean إن 60 إما تكون 0 أو راح تكون باي أو راح تكون 2 باي or it's gonna be 3 pi, or it's gonna be 4 pi, or it's gonna be 5 pi, and so on. Now, if you read the question carefully, they said give 1 or 2 values where we have maximum and where we have minimum. طلب من عندي إن قيمة أو قيمتين للماكسيمم وللمينيمم. So طبعا as we agreed إن 6 باي راح تكون إما 0 باي أو 2 باي أو 3 باي أو 4 باي أو 5 باي. This is 6t. So the t itself is equal, if I divide all by 6, it's 0, or by على 6, or by على 3, or by على 2. I divide all by 6, and so on. So قال لي give me two values of this. So I'm gonna put a table. أحط values t اللي هي 0, by 6, by 3, and the by 2, and I start to calculate the value of the function to see if it's a maximum or minimum. This is the function that I have. It's 100 plus 20 cosine 6t. إذا حطينا فيها 0, this will be 100 plus 20 cosine 0. The 20, لأن cosine 0 is 1. And the by 6, it will be 100 plus 20 cosine 6, and the angle is by 6. So this is cosine by, and cosine by is equal to minus 1. This will be 100 minus 20. It's equal to 180. Again, اتفقنا ان اخذنا ال p. We find the derivative of the p. We let this equal to 0. طلع عندي ان 6t is equal to this. فالt لحالها, if I want it, I will divide all by 6. So this will be 0. This will be by 6. This will be by 30. By 3, sorry. And this will be over 6 by 2. And so on. Yeah? فقال لي إن at least give me 1 or 2 values لما يكون عندنا maximum يكون عندنا minimum. So I'm gonna choose 0 والباي 6 والباي 3 والباي 2. عشان أعرف ال value maximum or minimum, I'm gonna put it in the original function اللي هي ال p. The original function that they give to me. ال p اللي هي 100 plus 20 of cosine 6t. فمرة أعوض عن ال t ب0. And I see what will be the answer. Once I'm gonna put that t with by 6, the answer will be 80. One time I substitute with by 3, the answer is 120. بعدين by 2, it's 80. So what do you think هنا? أعلى قيمة is 180. The least is 80, the minimum. 120 again, and 80. And this is what's happening with the human pressure. 120 80 it is, صح؟ مو 120 على 80 is the normal. فأعلى شيء 120, أقل شيء 80. You got that? We got t values. We substitute them in the original function in a table. This will give me some values with maximum, values for the minimum. Any questions? I'm waiting for if anybody have a question. قيمة التي من هنا. We find b dash. We let it equal to 0. When we let it equal to 0, هذا معناها ان الساين equal to 0. طيب متى الساين equal to 0؟ متى الساين equal to 0؟ الساين اللي هي الواي. So I have to check متى الساين تكون 0. It's هنا وهنا. يعني عند الزيرو degree عند الباي. وعند 2 باي وعند 3 باي وعند 4 باي عند 5 باي and so on. You got this الحين لحد هنا واضح؟ فال 6 باي لازم تكون one of those values so that the sign is equal to 0. So the t is equal to 0 by 6 by 3 and by 2. الحين to get the value I have to find the b and the 0. I have to find the b and the by 6. I have to find the b and the by 3 and I have to find the b and the by 2. أخذت 4 قيم. أنا عندي infinite. بعد كل لفة كاملة من وين؟ من الزيرو. انتوا فاهمين ليش أنا اخترت الزيرو كبداية؟ الزيرو على الإكس أكسس، فكم قيمة الواي؟ زيرو. فمتى الواي زيرو؟ لما أكون على الإكس أكسس. مرة هنا ومرة هنا. وأرجع هنا تصير زيرو وبرجع هنا بتصير زيرو. You get me? If you go back to the sine function curve، هذه الساين شايفينها؟ الساين متى تمسك الزيرو؟ عند الزيرو مرة، وعند الباي، وعند التو باي، وعند الثري باي، وعند الفور باي، صح؟ وعند الماينس باي، والماينس 2 باي، والماينس 3 باي. برضو من هنا we can see it. متى الساين تمسك الزيرو؟ عند الزيرو، وعند الباي، وعند ال 2 باي، وعند ال 3 باي. مثلا الواي لو انا سالتك الكوزاين، سوري، لو سالتكم الكوزاين متى راح تمسك زيرو؟ متى الكوزاين تاخذ زيرو؟ هنا عند الباي 2، وهنا عند 3 باي 2 and so on. فالساين equal to 0 عند الفاليوز هذه. Then we substitute مرة بالزيرو، مرة بالباي 6، مرة بالباي 3 and مرة بالباي 2 and we get the value. راح نشوف إن الفاليو مرة 120 ومرة it is 80. One time it will be 120, one time it will be 80. You have to use your calculator to find those cosines if you don't know how to find them. الحين مثلا عند الباي 3 it is 100 plus 20 في cosine 6 في الباي 3. 6 في الباي 3 is 2 باي. Cosine 2 باي is equal to what? 1. So this will be 100 plus 20 اللي هي 120. Okay. ال 80 هنا happened لأن it became minus 1 فصارت 100 minus 20. It became 80. Any question? Any question here? Now in this question they are asking about the average weekly temperature. الحين كلمة average what does it mean? Maximum, minimum معناها I'm talking about the derivative. الحين whenever I'm talking about the average value of a function. Remember what does the average value mean from last time? المتوسط. It's actually 1 على b minus a, the integration from a to b of the function fx dx. هذه derivative definition of the average value. So they want the average weekly temperature in Washington D.C. The function f is given by this. It's a sine function. So the average value at the week 18, I'm talking about the integration من 0 to 18. فالaverage value in this case is equal to 1 على 18 minus 0 يعني from week 0 to week 18, and the integration from 0 to 18 of the function اللي هي ال f of t. This is the average weekly temperature. Okay, so this is the integration here. 1 على 18 minus 0, and the integration is from 0 to 18. The integration of 54 is 54t. And the integration of sine of 2 by 52. Remember, what did we say? لو عندي integration of sine k في t, the integration is minus cosine kt على ال k, صح? Remember? So now this is the sine of 2 by على 52 في t minus 12. The derivative of this one is a 2 by على 52. So the integration of the sine is minus cosine, as you can see, and we divide by 2 by على 52, يعني as if we multiply with 52 على 2 by. Let me do it. I'm gonna delete this. So if I want to find, this is 1 over 18. The integration of 54 is 54 بالt. The integration of a sine ومعاها داخلها function is minus cosine. So it is minus 23, and here we have cosine of this اللي هي 2 by over 52 في t minus 12. But I have to divide with the derivative of what inside the cosine. اللي داخل cosine has a derivative which is 2 by على 52. So this is 2 by over 52. مقام المقام يطلع بس، صح ولا لا؟ So this will go up as a 52 over pi. So this equal to 1 over 18. This one is 54 t, and this part will go to 32 here, and this will be 52 over pi. Multiply with the cosine that we have here. Now the integration طبعا is from 0 to 18. The integration is from 0 to 18. So we substitute with 18 أول مرة, and this is the substitution. We substitute with the 0 the second time. لا أحمد, we're not gonna integrate the t minus 12. It is inside the sign لأنها داخل الساين. It's angle. Yeah. So we substitute مرة بال18 and مرة بال0. This is the substitution of 18. This is substitution with the 0. We find the answer. We subtract, and we will get the final answer. طبعا I want you to practice. Use your calculator to find such an answer. Each calculator is different. You have to practice on how to use your own calculator to find those results. ماشي? How to find the cosine of 3 pi over 13, how to find the cosine of minus 6 pi over 13, and you must get the same answers, which will be the average temperature. Average temperature in week 18. The second part of the question, they are asking about at week 20 how fast the temperature is changing. ايش يعني how fast? Speed, صح? This remind me of the velocity. So this is what? إذا قاعد أقول how fast, I'm talking about سرعة. السرعة is what? Rate of change. Rate of change يعني I'm talking about derivative. So actually I'm talking about f dash عند الweek 20. Most important thing في الكالكولس is that you know how to read the question correctly. ما قال لي في البارت A جيب integration, but I knew لأنه قال لي يبغى average value, صح؟ وفي البارت B ما جاب سيرة الديريفاتيف، لكن I know لأن they said how fast. السؤال اللي قبل كان يقول لي maximum value والminimum value، فI know أن الماكسيمم minimum معناها I'm talking about derivative equal to 0. Yeah? So you must know how to read the questions. If you don't know what does the question mean, you know how to find the derivative, but you don't know how to solve the question لأن أصلا مو فاهم إيش المطلوب في السؤال. So I have to find the derivative and I have to put the 20 inside it. So this is the solution. Now the derivative of the function, it is 54 and it is sine. So the derivative of 54 is 0. The derivative of the sine is cosine, لكن it should be multiplied with the derivative of what inside? The derivative of what inside is 2 pi على 52. Combine the 2 by 52 with the 23 constant here, so we remain with 23 pi over 26. Substitute now with the t equal to 20. t بشيلها بحط مكانها 20. It will be pi over 26. 20 minus 12, and again you have to work your calculator here to calculate the cosine of pi over 26 of 20 minus 12. اللي 20 minus 12 طبعا is equal to 8. So the answer after you multiply with this is equal to 1.5, 7, and 9. So this is the how fast the temperature was changing. This is the rate the temperature was changing. Is it clear? How we find the derivative, you mean? I can do it. I want to find the derivative of this function, yeah? So to find the derivative of this function, f dash at t, this equal derivative of 54 is 0. Now the derivative of this part 23 is a constant. ايش مشتقة الساين؟ مشتقة الساين is cosine. It's cosine of what inside it? So it is 2 pi over 52 في t minus 12. طبعا since I have it is sine of a function لازم نضرب في مشتقة اللي داخل. We have to multiply with the derivative of what inside. So we write إن I'm gonna find the derivative of 2 pi على 52 في t minus 12 dash. الحين this one هذه it is 2 pi على 52 بالt minus 12 في 2 pi على 52. Actually this is the function, صح? What's the derivative of this one? It is 2 pi على 52. So this equal to 23 cosine of the 2 pi over 52. And here we have t minus 12. And the derivative of هذا كله is a 2 pi over 52. Just multiply the constants together. This equal to 46 over 52 pi. And here we have the cosine of 2 pi over 52 t minus 12. Now 46 على 52 is 23 على 26. This is simplified to be 23 over 26. Good لحد كده? Clear? The next step, I have to find it at the 20. So I have just to substitute with the t equal to 20. So this is 23 pi over 26, and this will be cosine of 2 pi over 52, and this will be 20 minus 12. Calculator work, and you get the answer. صارت واضحة؟ ما فيها مقام هذه. In the integration ظهر عندي مقام، هنا ما فيها مقام. In the integration part يا ديما we had this. هنا we just simplified, huh? هنا we just simplified. أنا عندي هنا هذا constant and this is a constant. If you multiply 23, yeah, I'm telling you now. If you multiply 23 مع ال 2 هنا, it will be 46 باي على 52. هذه اختصارها 23 على 26 باي. مو حابة تختصرينها. You want to leave it like this, it's fine. At the end you will multiply everything out. You got it? Yeah. طلع الجواب صحيح هبة ولا طلع مختلف؟ طيب make sure إن الكالكوليتر is on the radian mode. ما أنا قلت لكم الباي الكالكوليتر في المود العادي تحسب الباي as 3.14 and this is not the باي we are talking about هنا. احنا الباي اللي نتكلم عنها اللي هي 180 درجة. So you have to make sure إن your calculator in the radian mode. and this is your rule الحين. هذا واجبكم. ادخلوا على الانترنت شوفي الفيرجن حقت الكالكوليتر. Go to the YouTube, search for how to do a radian measurement using my calculator. اكتبوا رقم إصدار الكالكوليتر. كل كالكوليتر مختلفة عن الثانية. اكتبوا رقم الإصدار في اليوتيوب إن how to work the radian. Yes, أسامة. طيب you have to multiply it with the cosine. You have to find this 23, 26. بعدين you multiply it with the cosine. الناتج هذا بعد ما نضرب بالكوزاين. Yeah, you have to multiply with the cosine after. It works now? Yeah. الحين you don't have to solve it. ايوه بالضبط exactly. You don't have to. يعني if you learn how to use the brackets correctly حطوها داخل الكوزاين والكالكوليتر تحسبها. يعني you can put it inside like this. يعني you can make this is like cosine of 8 pi على 26. Make sure that it's radian measurement and then multiply it with the 23 pi over 26. Let me move on. Do your calculations later on. الحين now we are gonna introduce more trigonometric functions. قلنا عندنا لسه التان والكوتان والسيك والكوزيك as well. التان is the most important بالنسبة لنا. The tan is the sign على cosine, and I know إن the sign is the y, and I know إن the cosine is the x. So the tan actually is nothing but the y على x. I'm not mentioning الhypotenuse. الوتر ما قاعد أذكره. It is y على x. It is sine على cosine. It's the opposite على adjacent. الكوتان العكس. It's x على y. السك is مقلوب الكوزيك. It's 1 على cosine. بمعنى it is r على x. والكوزيك مقلوب الساين. بمعنى it is r على y. والكوتان is cosine على sine, which is x على y. Okay. Tan is the most important, as I told you هنا. It is equal to y over x. And we have this important formula that connect the tan with the sec. We have that the tan square of t plus 1 equal to sec t. So if I have the tan, square it, add it to 1, this will give you the sec square of the t. Now they are giving us an example of a right angle triangle. As you can see, find me the width of a river at a point AB if the angle BAC is 90 degrees. Now you can see the thing in the blue هنا هي river. هذا river. ماشي. The width of the river, they pointed A here, and they put the B هنا, and the C then will be here. فقال لي إن ال BAC هي 90 degree. It's the 90 degree. Okay. فالمطلوب من عندي ال width of the river اللي هي المسافة من A إلى B. Knowing إن الانجل هذه الانجل C is equal to 70. No, not the angle. Yeah, the angle. Let me make it clear here. Now the angle AC and B is 40 degree. And the distance من ال A إلى C is 75. So where is the X هنا? It is this 75, yeah? And what is the Y? المقابل لل 40 degree. This is the Y. And what is the hypotenuse? It's the BC. طيب المطلوب من عندي ال Y. So what do you think? معطيني X, معطيني الزاوية ويبغى ال Y. I can remember إن التان للزاوية is equal to Y over X. طيب أنا عندي ال X وعندي ال angle. I remain with the Y. I can simply find it. So the tan of 40 degree is equal to the Y that I want to find على ال X, which is given to be 75. So the Y then equal to 75 multiply with tan the 40 degree. Now طبعا you have to use your calculator to find the tan 40. You will get it's equal to 0.84229. Multiply it with 75, and this will give you that the distance is equal 63.17 meter. Okay, how can we think about such a thing? I see what I have, I see what I need. معطيني زاوية ومعطيني الX ويبغى الY. What connect those things? التان. Okay. Is it clear? واضحة؟ So the derivative now of the tan. The derivative of the tan is sec square. and the derivative of the tan of g of t is sec square of g of t multiplied with the derivative of g of t. يعني مشتقة الفانكشن في مشتقة داخل الفانكشن. And this is how the curve of the tan functions looks like. Again, it's periodic. It keeps on repeating itself. It changes itself each time between the minus by 2 and by 2. لحد 3 by 2 and so on. So it's periodic again. It keeps on repeating itself. And this is how the curve looks like. So, and this is, since we know in the d by dt, let tan t is equal to sec square of t, what will be the integration of sec square of t? It's tan. ولا? Yeah? So, for example, if I say, what's the integration of sec square of x dx, على طول, I know the integration is tan of x plus the integration constant c. Let's check this example. They want you to differentiate here the function, which is y equal to 2 tan of the root of x squared minus 4. As you can see, and the root and the tan as well. Now the integration of the sec is something complicated. You are not requested to talk about those complicated things. And if I'm talking about the integration of the sec, it's something complicated to be solved. The integration of the sec is very clear to be the tan. ماشي? This is what they want you to know. We didn't talk about the derivative of the cotan. We didn't talk about the derivative of the sec and the cosec. We just talk about the tan. Derivative of the tan, the integration of the tan. So as you can see, the function here, every time I have a root, I have to change it to a power. So this is 2 of the tan, and here I have x squared minus 4 to the power, what? Half. Yeah. So let me now find the derivative of this function, y dash. Now, notice الهاف هذه it's على التان ولا بس على الانجل الزاوية؟ This half is على ايش؟ على الانجل، صح؟ التان ما عليها power. So I have to differentiate it as usual. What's the derivative of the tan? It is sec square of the angle, which is x squared minus 4 to the power half. But I have to multiply with the derivative of x squared minus 4 to a power half. You got me? لو كان في قوس هنا for example والhalf كانت على التان, I have to consider it's the derivative of the bracket multiply with the derivative of what inside the bracket. لكن الهاف هذه جاية على الانجل، على الزاوية، زاوية التان. التان ما عليها باور. لو عليها باور you will see الباور على التان هنا. الباور على زاوية التان. So it's the derivative of the tan is sec squared multiply with the derivative of what inside. This equal to 2 sec squared. I can write it as a root now. X squared minus 4. And what's the derivative of this? Now it's a bracket. The derivative is half of x squared minus 4 to the power half minus 1. Multiply with the derivative of what inside? اللي هو 2x. صح كده؟ Now the 2 cancel this 2. And this is equal to minus half. So this is equal to 2 sec squared of the root of x squared minus 4 multiplied with, and this part is x over the root of x squared minus 4, and this will be the derivative. دائما ننتبه لما يكون عندي sin square of t مش نفسها لما يكون عندي sin t square. لما يكون عندي tan to the power half of t مو نفسها لما يكون عندي tan t to the power half. الهاف جاية على الانجل، هنا الهاف جاية على التان. okay this one معناها ان tan t كلها to the power half. الاكس مش removed، اللي removed اللي هي 2. ال 2 هنا cancel the 2 هنا. I remain with the x. ولا صح ولا لا؟ Yes, go ahead أسامة. Now آخر خطوتين. Derivative of the tan is sec square. في derivative of what inside? Which is the derivative of x square minus 4 to the power half. الحين اللي what inside هذه cos to a power half. So the derivative of this one is half cos to the power half minus 1. لكن I have to multiply with what inside, with the derivative of what inside. Derivative of x minus 4, which is 2x. الحين I check, I have the 2 هنا فوق and the 2 at the bottom, they will cancel. يبقى عندي x فوق and this is minus half, so it just can go down as a root of x squared minus 4. So this is the simplification of this. طبعا I have the 2 here, it can be multiplied with the x as well if I want to, or I can just leave it like that. Now we have this example. طبعا in the final you expect things like this. You expect integration, a lot of integration طبعا as I told you, and integration where you have sine function, integration you have exponential, and integration you have 1 over x. الحين let's quickly review the rules. What's the integration of 1 على x? What's the integration of 1 على x? يلا, who can remember that? It's ln x. That's correct. We say ln absolute value of x. And what is the integration of e to the power kx? It is e kx على k, صح? And what's the integration if I have sine of k في x? Integration of the sine is what? Minus cosine kx over k, correct? So we apply this here. I have a 3 parts, sine, exponential, and 1x. So the integration of the sine, it's minus cosine of 2x plus 1 على derivative of 2x plus 1, which is 2. Yeah? What's the integration of 2 exponential 2x minus 1? 2 is a constant. The integration of the exponential is exponential of 2x minus 1. لكن we divide by the derivative of 2x minus 1, which is 2. Plus 1/3 is a constant هنا. And what's the integration of 1x? It is ln absolute value of x. طبعا plus the integration constant since it is indefinite integration. طبعا the 2 here will cancel the 2. And that's it. Easy or not? If you know the rules, it's easy. Direct and easy, especially the integration. Unlike the derivative, if you have derivative of multiplication, you have to do a deep thinking, you have to be very careful. Now for integration, it's just direct thing. Yeah, if you know the rule, it's easier. And that was this tutorial. By finishing this example, we finish this tutorial. And again, I have a revision for that trigonometric. I'm going to show you this one. I'm gonna send you the revision inshallah. This is a revision على trigonometric function. Get or find the derivative of this. It is sine of a sine, huh? So ايش قلنا على الساين؟ What's the derivative of the sine? What's the derivative of the sine? It is cosine of sine x. لكن I have to multiply with the derivative of what inside. ايش اللي داخل؟ اللي داخل it is again sine x, so sine x dash. So this will be cosine of sine x phi again cosine x. So what's the correct answer? It's the C. Now they are giving you this function, huh? It is f of x equal to 4x minus 3 cosine x. What is f dash of by 2? So you have to find f dash. You have to find the derivative of this one. The f dash of x, the derivative of 4x is 4, صح? And the derivative of the cosine is what? What's the derivative of the cosine? إيش مشتقة الكوزين؟ Minus sine. So this will be plus 3 sine x. في أسهل من كده. الحين I have to substitute with pi over 2 اللي هي 90 درجة. This will be 4 plus 3 sine 90 درجة اللي هي الباي على 2. Sine 90 درجة is 1. Excellent يا عصام. So the sine هنا is equal to 1 مضروبة في 3 plus the 4. The answer is 7. Easy, right? الحين here they are giving me again cosine of a sine. Again, if I want to find the derivative, أقول إن مشتقة الكوزين is minus sine of the sine x. لكن I should multiply with the derivative of what inside, which is sine x. I should find sine x dash. Sine x dash is cosine. So it will be minus sine of sine x multiplied with cosine x. And the correct answer is C then. Integration now. I want you to find me the integration of cosine square to x, sine x and sine square. There is a small trick here. Who can note it? الحين أنا ما عندي integration cosine square صح? I don't know what's the integration of the cosine square. I know how to integrate the sine. I know how to integrate the cosine. And I know how to integrate the sec square. قلنا أن integration of sec square is tan. لكن what's the integration of cosine square? I didn't know that. I have cosine square and sine square. Their sum is equal to what? 1. مجموعهم واحد صح? So actually I'm talking about the integration of 1 plus 2 sine x dx. والحين the integration is easy. The integration of 1 is x. The integration of the sine is minus cosine x plus the integration constant c, and this is the answer. Yeah. الحين we are given the velocity with the initial condition in distance or displacement that the zero is 4. Find me the position. Yeah, they want the position function. احنا we know in s of t derivative يعطيني v of t and the derivative will give me a of t صح? So moving back is the integration. فال s of t actually is nothing but the integration of v of t dt صح؟ يبغى البوزيشن يبغى s of t as you can see من answers I can see إنه يبغى s of t. So I have to integrate the function. So we integrate the 4 sine of 4t plus the 2. And the integration is with respect to t طبعا. Now what's the integration of the sine? What's the integration of the sine? minus cosine, I have to divide by t طبعا. So I have already 4, so it will be minus 4 cosine of 4t, and I must divide with 4 لأن it is sine 4t. And what's the integration of 2? It is 2t. Okay. طبعا this is plus the integration constant c. Now the 4 cancel the 4, so I end up with in s of t is equal to minus 4, no, not minus 4, خلاص, the 4 will cancel the 4. This will be, I'm gonna send it by email inshallah. So this will be minus cosine 4t plus 2t plus the c. ما خلصت, I still have to find the c. Using in the s and 0 is equal to 4. So if I substitute with t0 and make this equal to 4, this will give me minus cosine of t0 يعني of 0 plus 2 في 0 plus the c, and this equal to 4 as they give me. Cosine 0 is what? ما هي على الاليمنتس انا برسل لكم اياها. now cosine the 0 is what? it's the x of the 0, it's 1, so بيطلع عندي هنا minus 1. so minus 1 plus c equal to 4, so this will give me that the c is equal to 5. So we end up with the 5 here, and the correct answer is C. Yeah, none لأن هنا فيها 4 كان فيها mistake, فالanswer is none. So the S of t is equal to minus cosine of 4t plus 2t plus the 5. This is the answer, and it is not in there. Okay, we have 3 more of this. I'm gonna send you inshallah the papers. هنا find the average value. اتفقنا ايش يعني ال average value? Means I have to find the integration. I have to make 1 على b minus a, the integration from a to b of the function that I have, f of x. This what does the average value mean? Again, this is one question where they are asking you to find the average value, the same thing, different function. And here they are asking you to differentiate. ننتبه, the function is x مضروبة في tan x, which is a multiplication, and this one is len cosine the x. Practice doing this and this. Okay, احنا kind of we did a revision على الانتجريشن by the way. next quiz راح يكون على الانتجريشن, and we are kind of we did a revision على differentiation والintegration as well, والsine والcosine trigonometric functions as well. I'm gonna stop the recording now and receive your questions.